I am Sebastian Guadalupe Gallegos. I actually had an appointment here today, so I've talked about how hard it's been to. I would not wish what I've had to go through at the VA on anybody. I was wounded in combat with 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines. It's cool. I see one of my brothers here. We lost. We had like over 200 Purple Hearts. We've lost a lot of guys to suicide. I've waited years in between appointments. The prosthetic that I have on right now actually didn't come from the VA. It came from a local financier here who builds primarily aerospace stuff. So for years I couldn't get prosthetics to the VA, and that's in part through incompetence. They just don't want to do their jobs. And I think that what I heard about the hiring and firing is what I think that accountability is more important than funding. My experience with the VA and the private side has been people saying that if you don't want to work, you come to the VA. And Larissa and all the organizations here that have followed my story, I would not get access to appointments had my congressman not involved themselves twice, because I was essentially ghosted. And it makes me sad that not everybody has that visibility, because I'm very active in the community here, member of the MOF 1836, the Purple Heart chapter here. We have the largest Purple Heart chapter in all of the U.S. here, and that's because probably because Mexicans are overrepresented when it comes to fighting wars. But it makes me sad that had my congressman not hit up the director of the VA, I would not have gotten any appointments in between years of prosthetics. And I actually had a private guy with no background in prosthetics give me the prosthetic that I use to hold my kids. I have 2 under 3 at home. I'm only here because I have an appointment here earlier today. I drove all the way from Austin. That's sad. I have appointments in Temple, Texas, and San Antonio. That's driving 200 miles with one arm is not something that I do easily. It's insane. I think that from my understanding, anecdotally, there's just people like the guy who worked here previously said, that don't want to work, and that makes me sad to say that. But you could personally search out my record and see that my Congressman Castro and Casar and whoever it is now with the new Texas whatever map got involved twice because I couldn't get appointments, and that's all my injuries came from combat. That's super sad, and I wouldn't want anybody to have that in the next war. And it makes me sad that I hear this story of not being able to get appointments through the VA. I think that they probably should do more to outsource that, because building a new facility is will probably be dead by the time they can build. I'm from the Valley. I was born in San Antonio, but I understand. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I lived in the Valley too. I don't think that building a new facility is going to happen in our lifetime. So it just makes me sad to hear these stories. And if I wouldn't be here if Larissa wasn't so active in the community. And it makes me sad that the Marine who killed himself was also an 0311. I'm an 0311, which means that we're the the war fighters, as you would say. And it just makes me sad that we had to lose somebody in that way, because I don't think that too many people would be equipped to deal with what we've dealt with the VA. And if I weren't a dad, I probably wouldn't fight as hard either. But yeah, it just makes me sad to hear that Marine 0311 killed himself. And I pray that whoever's job it is to improve things is listening and communicating all this to who needs to hear it.